A new trailer has dropped for Resident Evil Requiem, and it's not at all what you think it is. It is a 3-minute live-action short film starring Maika Monroe, who you might know from It Follows and Longlegs, and we're going to talk about it. It's First Aid Spray. My name is Sai, joined today by James.
Hi, it's me, James.
And it's you, and how excited about this? I mean, this is cool, right? It's not just me. This is cool.
I immediately, when I saw our post on social media that you put up, I was immediately like, oh, we need to talk about this. This is really cool, actually.
Yes, so Evil Has Always Had a Name is the name of the short film. As I say, it's about 3.5 minutes long, and it sort of just details... It's a fairly simple story of kind of thing we've seen before, but it's a vibes piece, certainly, of a mother and daughter living just a normal life in Raccoon City until one day, obviously, horrible things happen, and they get separated. This is really cool. There's lots to dig into here, but it's very much a vibes piece. It's really interesting to see them sort of focus specifically on, obviously, Raccoon City in 98 when this happens, rather than Requiem, which is set in the present day. But for one thing, I was just excited to see more of broken down, busted up Raccoon City, because we are about a month away from the game, less than now, and we've seen so little of that part of it that they've teased. So it was cool to see more of that, and it matched with what we've seen previously. But how did you feel about sort of, the vibes and the visuals of this thing?
Yeah, seeing that ground level stuff is something, I mean, we talk about the podcast a lot, is that we want to see more of this ground level stuff, you know, the unsaid horror of it, the stuff that's unsaid, the stuff that it's untold, you know, and it's so seeing this from a pedigree actor, like I absolutely love Monroe in everything I've seen her in, like it was pretty good and excellently shot. Premium.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like there's a quick scene where she says "and fight," and she's just beating the crap out of the cameraman. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is, yeah, you spoke about it earlier about if we get something like this for a movie, that'd be pretty sick.
It was hard for me to get away from the feeling of like, man, I really hope the upcoming Zach Cregger movie is kind of like this. This is what I want. Like you said, like little stories that take place sort of potentially in the canon universe, or near enough where you could maybe justify it, or just, you know, Raccoon City is just a wellspring that we've continually gone back to as a franchise anyway. But just, the little on-the-ground stories of terrible things happening to people, the little tragedies, that's kind of what makes Resident Evil great, and this is just a short little tragedy in that sense as well. But a bit of a celebration, sort of outside of the actual video itself. I was getting worried that we weren't going to get something akin to what we've had previously with Resident Evil Village. We had the puppet show, if people remember that. That was a great fun time in terms of marketing the game. And RE4 Remake had those Studio Ghibli-esque, like, bright and happy, colourful animations that very juxtaposed with the game that were fun. So I was worried that we weren't going to get something akin to that. But this is neat, because it's a real throwback to, I think, more obviously the George A. Romero Resident Evil 2 trailer comes to mind when you think of live-action Resident Evil, but there's been a few. I think there was one for Resident Evil 5, there was one for Revelations 2, which I think is the most recent, unless there's something I'm forgetting. So it's cool to go back to this, and like you said there about how it's shot and stuff, it's quite impressive looking, considering it's just a 3-minute little short film for TV and, you know, for Entertainment Weekly and wherever else right now. It looks really good. There's a shot in there that mirrors the Raccoon City crater, which is really cool, and the set design's great. Seeing a liquor in the distance all shadowed was really cool. Super impressive stuff.
Yeah, I think that liquor, by the way, was the one that killed her child, because we hear I
think the implication, right?
Yeah, because we hear the scream. That was really scary. I think the other thing there's, I mean, talking technically, like a second, it's like also the lines were delivered so well in this.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
Like Monroe, she said, "Tell them I tried. Tell them I was still me right until the end." And like, I almost teared up at that, especially like she spent probably about 10 hours in the makeup chair just to be shot in the face for 5 seconds, but still, that's show business. But yeah, and we're also reminded again about, specifically with that last shot, we're reminded again, and by the way, you probably shouldn't listen to the rest if you don't want to know any spoilers about Requiem, right? So please skip. But the retaining memories thing, the fragments of the former lives of these people. We've never seen that before, really. So like, and they're really pushing that because they said it in the last Requiem trailer as well. They were talking about, these zombies, they talk about what they were doing in their professions, what they were last doing in their previous lives. And they're repeating words. And they're doing it with this trailer. Like, they're repeating these things again. It's like they're really trying to drive that home.
Yeah, it was kind of subtly done as well, really. Like, it wasn't just beating you over the head with here's the mechanics and stuff that you can expect from the gameplay. It was a real nice, subtle way. Like I said, most of this is reflective of Raccoon City brackets general, but that thing at the end did feel like it was a deliberate zombies with memories thing, which we know is going to be a factor with Requiem. And of course, really, the story of it being about a mother and a daughter trying to survive also feeds back into Requiem. I know the ages are obviously different here, but it seemed like that was a deliberate choice, as well as the fact that the casting of Monroe, again, it doesn't quite match up, but I mean, she'd be a great live action Resident Evil character, be that Grace or someone else. Like, it's a fun little, nod, but it isn't that character. Generally, very happy with this. This is really cool. Resident Evil's fun when it's goofy, but it's also great when it can take itself seriously like this and just tell this little compact, as you said, kind of tragic little story. Are we expected? I mean, as I say, 4 weeks out, I don't know if we'll get another one of these, but I mean, that would be amazing because we didn't even know this was coming.
I mean, we get quite surprised by Capcom with these things. Like, I mean, like, we got the animation with RE4R, we got the puppet thing. Which, by the way, Capcom, we're still waiting for those puppets because,
right?
Like, we all want them. Come on,
my puppet Moreau.
Instead, like, you're giving us all these print to T-shirt crap merch. Like, you need to give us actual puppets. So I'm hoping, kind of like with Resident Evil 7 as well, where we got those pre-roll kind of B-roll stuff for that documentary, which was really cool. I hope we get kind of more of that kind of stuff as well. I do want to point out another thing about the narrative of this as well that kind of also made me go, oh, this is so good. Like, the way, and you can obviously do a lot with a short film. Like, there's a lot that you can, if you frame it in a way, there's a lot, like with any kind of short film. I'm going to compare my one shots to this. You can kind of, you can make something into a compact package and you can make people ask questions, because that's what ultimately you want to do. But yeah, like, I just loved that ending because when you look at that grave, there are many keepsakes on that grave.
So true.
She has returned to that
multiple times.
So many times, like, and this is in the future. I mean,
that's good.
This is in the future. I think this is.
It must be because it's post explosion. We know that much.
Yeah,
all the buildings are burnt down. So
and she says, and there's a voice that says, "Raccoon City is ours." And there's a guy that says, "That's the last one." That's a very interesting line. Because I don't think that's true, guys. I don't think that's true at all. We have a game. We have a whole game.
It's interesting. I wonder if that is another one of the sort of subtle nods into the game. Do you theory time? Do you think this is completely a separate thing just for promotional purposes, or do you think maybe there will be a little hint, whether it's a diary, whether it's just a random grave or something? Do you think this is something that will maybe get a nod to in the game at all?
I'll tell you what I want, and I'll tell you what will probably happen. What I want is, yes, I want kind of similar to the Kendo shop note in RE3R. I want kind of a connection to this. I wouldn't even mind if we were in the vicinity of this happening in the game. That'd be pretty sick. What I think is going to happen is, yes, this is out of the game, and I think this is this is not going to be in the game, and probably. If I'm to stretch myself, we might find a zombie in a similar position over a grave. Maybe,
Hey, well, I tell you what, though, I wonder if this implies that lickers are in the game.
Yeah.
Just theorizing. Just theorizing.
But also, what do lickers turn? Because they aren't lickers like they're like an evolved form of an evolved form of an evolved form, right?
Yeah, kind of, right.
So,
They are former zombies.
What would a licker turn into after all this time?
30 years. Yeah. Very, very good question. Maybe we'll find out when Resident Evil Requiem drops in a few weeks from now. Let us know how your hype levels are down in the comments and what you thought of this, incredible little surprise that was this little short film. Make sure you stay subscribed over on First Aid Spray here and social media to keep up with the latest Resident Evil news and, of course, our coverage as Requiem and everything else as it drops. Thank you for watching and have a good week.